Why don't vampires show up in mirrors? Let's talk about that. This is a silver-plated test tube that my lab partner and I created all the way back in second year university in our organic chemistry lab. It was created using something called the Tollen's test. The Tollen's test is this reaction up here that's basically used to distinguish between an aldehyde and a ketone when you need to identify an unknown chemical. Basically, this reaction happens, you have an unknown chemical that's either probably an aldehyde or a ketone, and you do the reaction, and the result of a positive Tollen's test is this silver plating on the test tube when you have an aldehyde, so you know for a fact that your unknown chemical is an aldehyde and not a ketone. But it has other more practical uses. Back in the day, the Tollen's test and reaction was used to silver plate mirrors. The reaction would deposit this thin layer of very reflective silver onto any glass that it touches while the reaction is happening. The Tollen's reagent mixture is applied to the back of the glass that one would like to create a mirror on. The reaction is let happen, and you are left with a silver-plated sheet of glass, better known as a mirror. So then, what does this have to do with vampires? In vampire lore, they cannot see themselves in a mirror because they cast no reflection. Back in the day, silver was considered to be a very pure metal, and it repelled evil spirits and entities such as vampires and werewolves that were thought to be evil, demonic, whatever have you. This was partially due to the fact that silver, as well as garlic, has antimicrobial properties, so it did kind of repel bad spirits in the form of things like bacteria. So silver was thought to be so pure that it just straight up did not show the reflection of evil beings such as vampires. Because the vintage antique mirrors back in that time were created using the Tollen's test and has a pure silver film deposited on the back of the mirror. Nowadays, most modern mirrors are not in fact made with silver, but instead with aluminum plating. So, if you're relying on the mirror test to determine if somebody is a vampire, make sure you're using a vintage silver-plated mirror, otherwise that test may fail, and you may still be dealing with a vampire.